Well, guys, another DC fandom has come and gone, and what was good, what was bad, a bunch of it, to be fair. Things I liked, you'll probably be surprised at. Things I didn't like, you'll probably also be surprised at. So why don't we break down the good, the bad, and the ugly right now? Hey, what's going on, everyone? How you guys doing? Welcome to $3 Theater. I am Matt Jarbo. I'm your host for this particular deep dive into what I liked and what I didn't like about DC fandom. This is something that I did bring up in a live stream last night, asking, will fandom 2021 suck? And while it didn't suck, it definitely was a step up from last year. They still need to really figure out what the fans want. And I think they have a direction that they're going in. And I think they have very much an idea of where their core audience is. And I'm telling you, it's not here in the United States, but I'll talk about that as we get into this thing. So first up, let me talk about one of the things I really found myself liking. And that, of course, was The Rock. I have been very critical of what I feel the trajectory of The Rock's career is. I don't necessarily feel that he's anything more than a brand in many instances. But this whole intro of Black Adam, at first I was like, oh my God, is it more of the hierarchy of power and the DC universe will change? Like, yeah, yada, yada, yada. I heard it before, buddy. I've heard it many, many, many times. Get to the point. Oh, they did. Oh, they did. They showed a little clip here of this dude just getting eviscerated by Black Adam. And man, this actually brought a smile to my face. I thought the whole thing was really cool. I really enjoyed what we got out of that. I really enjoyed this entire little presentation, and it's got me sold for next year when the movie comes out. Maybe he's not wrong. Maybe this passion project he's been waiting on for 13 years is going to do it. We'll have to wait and see. But then we also got Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. They gave us a little behind the scenes sizzle reel of the production that they've been shooting now for the past few months in London. I would have liked to have seen maybe a different, I don't know, logo. I thought the logo was kind of contrived, not really the best. Maybe it will change by then, but it did give us a look at a more comic accurate Black Manta suit. And I really loved Black Manta in the first movie. I'm very glad that he's coming back. I really want to see it. Of course, Jason Momoa here in a black Aquaman suit riding what appears to probably be another seahorse type situation. It's going to be pretty cool. Obviously, this is going to be a bigger, bolder, crazier film going to multiple locations, really playing up the fantasy and mythology, are really the fantasy elements of this as compared to Shazam playing more into the mythology, which I'll talk about when we get to that thing. So that was pretty cool, giving us more of that, more of it's like swashbuckling adventure ride, which I think is going to be pretty cool. So I can't wait to see what they're going to do with this one. We also saw a bit of the Milestone comics, them talking about an animated movie they're working on. They currently have a screenwriter. They're trying to get this thing off the ground. And that's good that DC is investing into diverse creators, especially diverse creators in regards to animation, where they are criminally underrepresented. And I think that's going to be something that's going to be very fascinating. But these guys have been around for quite some time. Obviously, the Static Shock movie is still in development, Michael B. Jordan producing. And that was something that a lot of fans were really excited about. And I'm actually curious to see where things go with this. Then, of course, we got this little bit here for the Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. We got a whole trailer. I just grabbed this one screenshot here because I just kind of felt like it represented everything pretty well. It looks really funny. It's Rocksteady. Only downside is this was all cutscenes. Like, it wasn't gameplay. It was all cutscenes, which, you know, last year was a CG cutscene. This time around, it was in-game assets. So it was in-game assets and in-game visuals. While it wasn't gameplay, it does give you a better representation of how the finished product is going to look, which I thought was really good. And I'm really excited to see where it goes. That little bit at the end there with the penguin and zapping him constantly. That was pretty funny. Then we go over and we get to take a look at Peacemaker. This is, I'm not going to lie, one of my most anticipated projects. For one, I love James Gunn. Two, I want to see the redemption of the Peacemaker character. And this looks like it's actually going to be a fair amount of that. It looks like it's going to be a fair amount of fun. The key standouts from what we saw in the trailer was Eagly, his pet eagle, which we got this nice little moment where the eagle hugs Peacemaker. and he's like calling out to his dad to get a selfie. I thought that was pretty damn funny. John Cena is really trying to sell this role. He's really trying to bring it, and I honestly think that that's going to do a lot to work well with the world they're trying to build, what they're trying to establish there. And you know what? I think it's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be violent, over the top, whatever James Gunn has wanted, Warner Brothers has reportedly given him. And for better or for worse, I think we're all in for one hell of a ride, but it looked like a blast. Then we did get to see a little bit down the road, the first images, really, animatics kind of Harley Quinn season 3, which they announced at last year's FanDome, which was in August of 2020. So where the F has this been? They clearly made fun of that, but we did get to see one shot of both Harley and Ivy. They're together. They're in love. They're scissor me timbers. So a lot of fans are going to be happy with that relationship. Probably the most sane relationship in all of DC material at this point in time is Harley and Ivy. It's very weird, but it's a show that I absolutely love, and it's one that I can't wait to see when it finally comes out sometime in 2022 on HBO Max. They also talked here about a DC animated movie that Catwoman hunted. Looks pretty good. That's going to be coming out next year as well, I believe, and that's going to be, I think, a fascinating ride. We also got a look here at the Injustice movie, which comes out this week on 4K and home video. And you know what? Again, I kind of prefer evil Superman. I'm one of those few types of people that just prefers evil Superman. And I know a lot of other people out there may not like that. A lot of people are like, Superman gave me Boy Scout Superman is boring, dude. He's boring to me. Give me a character with confliction and maybe moral ambiguity problems. And here, you know what? We're going to see him go full on cray-cray, and it's going to be very fascinating. And I want to see, obviously, where it goes. My only real complaint with DC films is, like, I really wish that the animation was more homogenous. I know that sounds kind of weird. I know the DC AU got kind of rebooted with Justice League Apocalypse War, but I still feel like having a bit more of the homogenous animation style would go a long way to maybe like establishing this as being a universe that fans can relate to. By having multiple different animation styles, it does feel somewhat jarring for the audience. But then again, these are more like anthologies. Sometimes they're sequels. It's really hit or miss depending on who's making it. But either way, they are usually better than not. And those are ones that I always enjoy. We got a look here at Leslie Grace as Batgirl with the directors right there. And of course, Christina Hodson, who is the writer of this one. I have been very open with how I feel that Christina Hodson is a terrible writer. I will also bring this up when I talk about The Flash and what I feel is going on with that movie. I don't know why they keep hiring her. I really honestly don't. But they do. And so they clearly see something that the rest of us don't, which maybe I'll be wrong. Maybe Birds of Prey and Bumblebee were just off days for her. So maybe we'll get lucky and these other ones will do well, but I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. Either way, Leslie Grace seems like she's going to be very much very happy for the role, to do the role. And they confirm she will have a cowl and she will have red hair. So that is something that I think they said to appease a lot of fans, because like I said, they have been very much targeting the Latin American, the South American audience. Like that is where they are targeting in regards to their casting at this point in time. And again, if you know anything about how popular the CCCXP convention is in Brazil, DC is absolutely huge in South America, as it is in different parts of the world as well. But you can tell that that is the demographic of which they have been casting towards. And there was a reason for that too, is because even at the beginning of the episode, beginning of the stream, they had a bunch of streamers from Brazil. And then like one guy from Australia or maybe he was from Brazil, but he had an Australian accent. I don't quite know. I mean, I don't know who the hell these people are, to be honest with you, but I just noticed that was the thing. And I mentioned it to a friend of mine. He's like, oh yeah. They are. And that's fine. But it's like you can tell where they realize where their demographic is coming from, and that is now what they're casting for, which I just hope certain people don't figure that out, because then that's going to be a bit of a nightmare. But again, we'll be talking about something in regards to that again in a little bit. Then we got the Blue Beetle little panel here. Not much being said. They did have a level of enthusiasm for bringing the character to HBO Max. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'm actually really excited for this one. But once again, going previously to the Batgirl casting, you can see where their demographic is. Although Jamie Reyes is a Latino character, and that's great. I'm not speaking ill of that at all. I'm just pointing out something that I've noticed. And hopefully this will be something that a lot of people will really enjoy. Then, of course, we get to the Batman. There are other things that I liked real quick. Gotham Knights I thought was kind of cool. That was kind of about it. I don't watch Titans. I thought that trailer was kind of bad. I don't watch Doom Patrol, but I'm glad they all got their fourth season renewal. And but anyway, the Batman is what everybody wanted. This is at the end of the 3.5 hours. This, my friends, is what we had been waiting for. And we got this right here, which is a little bit different of a design than what we had last year with Matthew Reeves on that clearly green screen stage trying to talk to a camera. He's clearly more comfortable in this setting, while we had Robert Pattinson looking relatively uninterested throughout the entire time, and Zoe Kravitz again kind of being like, this is weird for us. But they're actors. They're meant to emote. They're meant to play characters. I hate these kind of corporate PR gigs because it's just so forced. You don't even really need it, to be honest with you. Just having a general conversation, I think, would do better. However, what everyone is waiting for, obviously, was the trailer. And oh my God, that trailer. It's a beautiful trailer. It's a wonderful trailer. It is the soundtrack. Michael Giacchino's score is amazing. The action is nuts. Everything looks just absolutely killer. You got this shot here of what appears to be a real pissed off Batman, which I really, really, really liked. And then there's a couple other screenshots I wanted to get, but it was very difficult to lock those frames down because of how frantic the action is for the scenes. Like, obviously, when he is walking through the tunnel, those guys are unloading machine guns and they're just bouncing off of his armor. There's that. I thought this shot here of the Penguin racing away, thinking he's got Batman in an explosion. And then here comes the Batmobile and it just knocks his ass over. And then from the Penguin's perspective, I love this POV shot of just the Batman walking. I thought that was great. The whole thing was awesome. I watched the trailer a number of times already, and this is going to be the 2022 movie to watch, I swear. Of everything DC's got going on for 2022, this is the movie to see. And I think they realized that. I think they realized that because there was no mention of the Snyder Cut. There's, I think, only one even piece of footage about the Snyder Cut, and that had to do with talking about the 80th anniversary of Wonder Woman. I think that even shot of her, Aquaman, and Cyborg was even from the 2016 Justice League trailer, not even the Snyder Cut itself. They had no mention of any of that during this, which is something that people out there are definitely upset about, because there was a whole bunch of Snyder Cut fans, and I mean this too. I mean this. There was a whole bunch of Snyder Cut fans out there that were spamming like IGN's chat, and they were spamming other places trying to get it to trend, One of the guys, from what I was told, I think it was an All Things Snyder Twitter account, from what I was told, had openly admitted to buying bots in order to spam the tag, which is not going to make them look good. It's just once again proving everyone correct about the Snyder Cut fans who can't let it go that it's over. They can't let it go that it's over. I'm sorry, guys. Like, this is what you have to realize at this point. It is done. It is over. That is that. But I get it. I get it. You want it. I want more of it too. But realistically, this is them a year and some change later. Never mind the success of the Snyder Cut. Never mind that even right now on Amazon, the 4K, which just came out a few weeks ago, which was at Walmart for like $30, is now $20 on Amazon. So if you haven't bought the 4K yet, you can buy the 4K for 20 bones right now on Amazon. You may want to go pick it up. So there's that to consider. But why don't we talk about what I feel is the worst? Well, the middling and then the worst. How about that? The middling is The Flash. This is what I was waiting for. I was hoping it would be something. It starts off with this. Now, look, Ezra Miller is a eccentric character. I think is a fair way to describe Ezra Miller here. The fact that like his hair is all crazy. He's looking like a disheveled John Lennon with a choker and a jean vest, clearly on the set of the movie. And what he says is like the Batcave, essentially. But there's like no energy. Like he was just a charismatic black hole during this particular bit. And it was like, why are you even like doing this? And that was actually one of my bigger problems with a lot of everything with FanDome, was like, they just there was like no QC, no quality control on getting like the performances out of some of these people. It was just, all right, say something real quick and then send it off and we don't even care. They didn't care. But his attitude here was so bad. It just sucked all the air out of the trailer. And they showed a couple interesting little bits here. They showed the Flash when he goes back and he's outside of his home. Although I don't believe that this is the Flash. I think this is the other Flash, Dark Flash or whatever. I don't know if it's going to be Reverse Flash or something like that. It just, there's things that they haven't really hinted at yet. And I could be wrong. It's more of a classic looking uniform, not the one that he had in the Snyder Cut. We have a shot here of what appears to be a cowl, and it's all messed up. There's lots of blood. We can see that there's the bat suit behind him and that it's actually Keaton's Batman. Keaton actually narrated the trailer, which I thought was pretty cool. You have this shot here of Barry just going like, I don't know what's going on. He's looking at something. Most likely he's in the Batcave looking at the bat suit. It's probably what it is. But again, even the design of his suit just looks kind of crappy. I mean, it's not done. The CG is not done, obviously, but it doesn't look that great. We have another shot here of, again, what appears to be him. I don't even know if this is going to be him or not. It could be. I feel there's a lot of misdirect in this trailer, predominantly because of not only like there you have this and you've got the shot of the cowl. And this is people are believing that this is Michael Keaton coming out. It probably is Michael Keaton, but I've even heard rumors that like there's multiple Ezra Millers in this movie, that there are multiple Ezra Millers, not just like two, but like multiple Ezra Millers. And that it's possible that this is another one. I don't know. It's probably not. But the reason why I bring that up is because of this final shot right here, where we see Barry and we see Sasha Calle, we see Supergirl, and then we see other Barry. So who's other Barry? Is it the Barry from that world? Yeah. Is he a speedster? Yeah. What speedster is he? I'm going to say a spoiler. This is what's been floating around. The rumor is that, and this is coming in from a multitude of different scoopers, that it's going to be Reverse Flash and it's going to be Barry from that Earth that is actually like either Reverse Flash or Dark Flash or Evil Flash, whatever. He's the villain. And then as soon as I saw this, I'm like, confirmed. Confirmed, and I'm going to tell you guys why. Going back to Christina Hodson from before. Whenever you do a big kind of horror movie reveal, or there's like a killer loose in the house and who is it, it's always someone that they've introduced early on in the movie. It's always going to be another character in the film that you don't see coming. That is always the twist. Do you really think that that they're going to have other Barry with Barry Allen throughout the whole movie and have it not be the villain? Come on. Yeah. Look, I know, again, I'm going to catch crap for this. Let me just say here. I'm interested to see where the movie goes. I'm 100% interested to see where the movie goes. But in reality, you can also realize that there's a lot here that is probably going to be really dumb. And I think Ezra Miller is like just like I said, a black hole of personality, or a personality black hole. There's no charisma there. And under Zack Snyder's direction, he did very well, but he had an ensemble to play off of. Who's his ensemble here? Sasha Calle, other Barry, Michael Keaton, Tessa Thompson's, Iris West, not Tessa Thompson. Sorry. I forget her name right now. Kirstie Clemens. That's what it is. You know? And so like, I mean, not the same kind of larger than life personalities just yet. So he's going to be the least interesting thing about this movie, hands down. And why at the end of the trailer, they blocked off the reveal of the Batmobile makes no sense, considering that we know that everything is going on with it, right? We know everything that's happening, but obviously they don't want to, I don't know what the hell's going on with that. It's so stupid. Anyway, let's talk about the things I didn't like. Again, this is not specifically about Brendan Thwaites, revealing the announcement for Titan season 4. This was done from his car. He's got a seatbelt on. I guess his kids are in the back and they're supposed to like time it up or sync it up, and it didn't happen. So they just run with it. Again, one take, send it off. We're done. No one came back. So can we do it again? Can we get something that's better? You know, can we edit around this? Can we cut a graphic in there and then like come back and edit another take of this? I mean, it's not like it's that hard to do. Obviously, though, apparently, right, yeah, that was something hard for them to do. Then we also got this thing here with the Peacemaker. This is what they did last year as well. You have 9 people on a panel. They only had like 3-4 minutes or whatever to kind of get through everything. It was kind of ridiculous. It didn't really do much to sell me on it. I'm already sold on Peacemaker. I feel this was a low part, and they should really stop doing this kind of stuff. I know it's a bit of a conversation, but it feels like they're trying so hard. And as even last year when they did the big one with like all 20 people on the screen, that also felt very much like they were trying so hard to sell it. They don't have to do that. Then we get this one right here. It's nothing that I have anything personally against this. Again, when I go back to quality control, why did Patty Jenkins not have a clip-on mic? Her audio is echoey, and she almost like she didn't care. Again, this is what I'm talking about. Like a lot of these people, like their audio is as echoey. Their webcams are shit. I'm a streamer who lives in Washington in a house in the woods, and I have a better camera. And my camera is not even the best one you can get, but it's affordable and it works. I've got 2 other cameras right here. You know, it's not that difficult to make it sound and look better. But again, no one is quality controlling these people. And this is the problem when you're trying to sell a massive 4-hour PR event. At least go in for the quality control stuff. And they mentioned Wonder Woman 3 here, just in passing, saying that they're working on it, but they didn't give any other information, no potential release date, no when they can get started on it, no what the plan is to get there. It was just like, yeah, no, it's happening. And then Linda Carter's like, well, I can't wait for you to not talk about it, which tells me that it's still not going to be happening anytime soon. And then finally, really, this one just bothered me. I know James Wan is producing it. I know it's the Aquaman animated show. I just found it to be boring. Like, I just thought it was really dumb. I know it's, I don't know who this is for. Maybe I'm just getting older. I can fully admit that. Maybe I'm just getting older and this kind of animation is just not doing it for me. You know, I don't really get into like the Cal Art style of stuff. Steven Universe doesn't do it for me. It just seems kind of ridiculous. I'll give it a watch because it's only like 3 episodes or something. So I'll give it a watch and I'll give it my opinion, but what they showed didn't wow me at all. There's a lot of stuff here. Again, they also had Bat Wheels, which I didn't grab a screenshot of. It doesn't even really matter. It was terrible. It's a kindergarten show about bat cars. And probably one of the like really stupidest things about all of this was the DC League of Super Pets. And the reason why the DC League of Super Pets was so bad was because the trailer that they showed was just like, it was Crypto, voiced by Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, who is again just voicing Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. He doesn't really play a different character in anything that he does. He just plays Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. You can substitute his voice for Crypto as Maui from Moana, and you're going to get the same performance. And then you get, oh, who is this coming out of there? Oh, it's Ace. It's the Bat Dog. It's Ace. It's voiced by Kevin Hart. Oh, wow. Oh, Kevin Hart. Hey, is that Kevin Hart? Or is it Snowball from Secret Life of Pets 1 and 2? I don't know. Neither of these actors ever actually emote anything other than who they are, than the character that they are. They're both just playing the same role every time. And then the only clip that they had was literally a pissing contest between Crypto and Ace. And then there was a thing at the end saying, oh, by the way, you're going to get a full reveal at the next month. So here it is, the middle of October, and they're going to wait a full month to give us the full trailer for Super Pets. It felt like a very wasted opportunity to sell people on that particular product. And what they gave us was just like, the fuck, you know, it was bad, but not as bad as this.
And since Earth still needs a Superman to protect it while Clark is off fighting for the people on Warworld, John Kent, the son of Clark and Lois Lane, has picked up the mantle of Superman here on Earth in Superman, Son of Kal-El, from writer Tom Taylor and artist John Timms. This is a different, younger Superman who's figuring out how he wants to fight for the future and who he is as a person. You may have recently heard the news that John Kent's relationship with reporter Jay Nakamura will be formalized as John comes out as bisexual in issue number 5 out in November. And we couldn't be prouder to tell this important story. We talk a lot about the power of the multiverse in DC storytelling, and this is an incredible example. We can have John Kent exploring his identity in the comics, as well as John Kent learning about the secrets of his family on TV in the Superman and Lois TV show on the CW.
For the record, I have no issue with Jonathan Kent being bisexual. None whatsoever. Buddy, let your rainbow flag fly. Do what you got to do. How they do it is what I have an issue with, because this just came out of nowhere. And it was literally that long of a clip. That was it, talking about this. And then they also changed Superman's motto to truth, justice, and a better tomorrow versus truth, justice, and the American way. And I know they're trying to, again, speak to a larger global demographic, but that, again, is something that a lot of people, especially people like the FanDome Menace, who are already jumping on this, as I said that they would as soon as that clip dropped, they're already coming after it, saying DC is abandoning America. The thing is, here's the situation. It's how this stuff is treated is how it all ultimately needs to be viewed. If you want to have Jonathan Kent be bisexual or have another character be gay or whatever, just do it. Don't talk about it. Don't make a stink about it. Don't shine a spotlight on it. Just do it. The reason why you do it like that is because then, you know what it does? Is it takes the pressure off of the product to overperform. Because when you shine a spotlight on it, at this point, you are now giving it probably more attention than it needs. And you are then putting more pressure on it to be better than it probably is. And that is not only unfair to the creators, it's unfair to the audience, who then has to go in there with that on their mind. And then they have to sit there and overanalyze that to either see that it's either good or negative, rather than just seeing it exist in and of itself, seeing it exist in the way that it's meant to be in context, and then accepting it. In life, how you start to change things is you treat them as normal. So if you want this to be seen as normal, then treat it like you would anything else. Shining a massive spotlight on his sexuality does nothing for the character. I understand there's the concept of like trying to find his identity and everything else. I get that. And that's going to probably be a part of it, but just have it written into the character, because a lot of the same struggles that a person who is bisexual or gay or lesbian or pansexual or transgender are going to run across are probably shared with a lot of other people. They might be, I don't want to say pigeonholed, but they might be aimed at a certain thing in a particular way, but that's not to say that another person who doesn't identify as that can't identify with that problem or a very similar problem and then have a very similar reaction to it, which would then allow them to see it through another person's perspective. When you start to beat people over the head with things and what we call virtue signal, that ends up being the massive problem. Again, I have no issue whatsoever with the character doing whatever, right? Do what you got to do, bud. But it's how it's done. And what Jim Lee did there felt like he did it at gunpoint. I'm not going to lie. It just felt so uncomfortable, like it was so forced. It gives people who create outrage out of genuinely nothing more ammunition to punch down on people, because this is what they're going to do. This is how they make their money. If they just would have treated it as normal and they just would be like, he's a bisexual character, he's coming out, he's doing this, that's fine, they wouldn't really have any air they wouldn't be able to keep the fire going. It sucks all the oxygen out of the room. It's not a hard concept to grasp. The problem is that everyone out there wants the clicks, they want the hits, and they want to get the social points. Virtue signaling does nothing for character growth or character development. All it does is inflate the ego of the people who are trying to push it for usually monetary or social points. That's what it is. That's my take on it, at least. So DC FanDome, in a nutshell, not really worth the 4 hours, to be honest with you. Not really worth the 4 hours at all. They could have summarized it down in 2 hours. It would have been just fine. Cut out the cosplay, cut out the fan art. No one cared. There's like an after party thing. Again, whatever. You can do the after party and do it all there. You know what I mean? More with the video games, more with TV. They were trying to compete with Marvel on the TV side of it. But again, the quality of something like Titans came across like a CW production. Even Supergirl or Stargirl looks like a CW production, even though it's a co-production. I don't know. It just, you know what? Like, their movies seem okay. Their TV shows aren't really wowing me outside of Peacemaker and Harley Quinn. But with anything, I always want to hear your guys' opinion on this one. If you made it this far, do me a solid and type DC FanDome in the chat so I know. I'll talk to you guys all later. Have yourself a great night. Thank you again for watching, and yeah, peace out.